So everything you can able to see that. Okay. From the report. Okay. This is a way that you can download another way to download the reports based on your requirement. Okay. So we have discussed about the reports. So manual, Okta, predefined reports and also the report that is available for customization also. Okay, both the ways are possible. And we have discussed about system logs. We will see how we can monitor the import monitoring activity. Okay. And administration activity. I think administration activity. We have seen like, if you are creating an app, Okta admin, what are all the things that you can do? What are all the ways that you can get those reports? So that we have seen. Okay, and I'll tell you another thing. So in Okta only, by default, 6 months of logs will be stored. Okay. You cannot store more than 6 months of data. For logs in Okta, okay. If you really want before 6 months log, you need to raise a case with Okta vendor. And they will get it for you, okay. So you cannot see in the console. Logs console. System log console. But there is another way. Okay, what you can do is you can integrate Okta with Splunk. There is a tool called Splunk. Okay, for log monitoring. That tool will be used. So in that Splunk you can maintain until 2 years of logs. Okay. And if you want to get before 2 years log, you can get in touch with the Splunk team, internal Splunk team, your organization Splunk team, and they can able to get you those details. Okay. So that is possible. So, whatever the event that is getting written here, right? In this Okta system log, it will be at the replica. Replica will be stored in the Splunk application also. Splunk data store also. So you can even instead of it is difficult for you to search in Okta. System log console. You can get in touch with the Splunk team and you can ask them to get some report, or you will be getting some access to Splunk dashboard access or logs access. You can able to go ahead and download the logs the way you want. Okay. Both the ways are possible. So that is related to the logging and monitoring. So any questions on this topic? Logging and monitoring. No, it's clear. Right. No, let's discuss about multi-factor authentication available. Okay. There are many organizations. I hope you know. Most of the organization that is available during this. I mean most of the organization available in the world. Okay. They started giving work from home during the pandemic time. Okay. Because of the pandemic, all the users started working from their home. Okay. So during that, if you're working from your home, okay. Anyone can access your systems. Anyone can access your laptop, right? Anyone can, even your family members, your friends, your neighbors. Or anyone can able to access your system. And they can able to get the data that they want really. Okay, from the organization, that is possible. But if you're working from office, okay, If you're working from a secured ODC, only the people who have access to the ODC, those people can able to access your system, so that the restrictions will be limited. Sorry, the threats will be limited, right? Only, let's say, in your ODC only 10 people are there. Only those 10 people may have access to your system. Access to your system. Okay. But if you're working from home, you cannot define the number of users that may have access to a system. Okay. So to avoid these kinds of threats, what all organizations started doing is they started implementing this multi-factor authentication. So what is multi-factor authentication? Let's say in a legacy way, there is only one way of authentication, which means you need to enter your username and you need to enter your password. Okay. If you enter your username and password, you can able to log into any application. You can able to log into your system and you can able to get all the data that hacker or that some intruder requests. Okay. He can do it. But if there is an additional factor check or additional authentication that will be mentioned, that will be blocked in the middle. Okay. Even though some of your family member got your user ID and password whenever you are typing on the keyboard, so they have noted that. Okay, they have identified that user ID and password and they are entering it. This multi-factor authentication will give an additional step to verify themselves. Okay. If your family member or some neighbor got access to your user ID and password, he's trying to log into an application in your system in your laptop. Okay. But he will not be the person who is an authorized person to access it. Okay. How that can be verified? It can be done with help of multi-factor authentication. So what is multi-factor authentication? The first type of authentication is password and user ID. Okay. That the intruder got access already. Now there'll be another authentication that will be sitting in the middle, which we will call it as multi-factor authentication. So for that authentication we need some external factors. So what is external factors? For example, a soft token. Or in your mobile there is an app. So your mobile is a personal mobile. So you are using your personal mobile. Or let's say, there is a token. Okay. Token like. If you like, do you know about the RSI token and all? Like it's a hard token that has been given to you if you join an organization. So in the token there will be some set of numbers will be displayed. So that numbers needs to be entered in the MFA page. Okay, to achieve that multi-factor authentication. Okay. So those are like some additional authentication mechanism. To prove yourself that you are the appropriate person accessing the systems. For example, if your neighbor try to your neighbor got your user ID and password. He's trying to access one application, but that application has been protected with multi-factor authentication, which you have in your mobile. As a factor, like it can be Google Authenticator or Okta Verify or whatever the app. It is okay, you have it in your mobile. So once the user logs into application, with the help of user ID and password, he will be prompted for multi-factor authentication. At that time he don't have that mobile device in his hand because it has been with you. Okay, The mobile device is with you. So you will reject that request. So if you reject that request, the user the intruder cannot able to access that application. The authentication will be blocked and it will be declined. Okay, the authentication will be declined. So the user will not have access to that application.